by just having Brimstone on this map, you have a lot of potential aggressive plays that your opponent has to play around. While with Omen, you kind of have to just pay attention to the paranoia, and that's about it. Because there's not much going on when it comes to the damage that Brimstone represents. So I really like the Brimstone pick.
Well, we're heading into game now, and like I said, Animal must win this if they want to take this to map 3. And Mitch and Lothar, I will leave this game in your very capable hands.
Thank you very much, Sue. We much appreciate it. Bind is on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, and whilst it might not be the biggest of a surprise that we're going to favor G2 coming into this one, they are starting on the attacking side, and that could give some small little glimmer of hope to Animal. On the defense, oh, I like the confidence. They're straight down mid. They're rushing it in, looking for kills, and they've already got one. This is exactly how you play versus G2. You try to beat them at their own game, bring the no respect play. And, well, Mixwell tried to do it as well, but he's just being punished. A shutdown at the start, and Animal looking good, with Patatek having to make a huge clutch. Although he has got a sneaky little position. He should at least... Oh, the timing. The timing has done him. I thought that was a free kill.
Well, the thing is, you see the Sage moving towards, like, the end of the wall. Where do you turn when you reach the end of the wall? Well, towards window. And that's the perfect timing for Zigatiris against who's playing a Brimstone? Patatek. But yeah, I really love how they approach this. G2 would never anticipate such an aggressive opening, right? Who would just do that? A just brutal dash on A short. Then Hibber goes in with the grenade, pushes Mixel out. Mixel has to dash in. Well, it's fast play for fast play.
I have to say, it's not just the fact that they dash down mid. It's you said who would do that? Who would do that versus G2? That's what they're thinking. They're sat there going, but did they know they're playing us? Do they know that?
Yeah.
Did they?
This is where G2 commentating like, who does that stuff?
Yeah. Did you guys put streamer mode on before this game? Is that what this is? I think it's ranked. It might be, and it's looking like if it was ranked, Animal are the ones that won't have someone leaving within 4 minutes and then have to play 4v5 the whole game.
Okay. That kill on Polvi wasn't needed. I just wanted to compliment how Animal plays this round well, because they didn't lose any economy yet, right? They lost a raise with a frenzy. Basically, no damage done. Like, she didn't lose anything. But then Polvi peaked at 20 HP and lost a Spectre. That is not something I like. And you might just ask, why is that important? But it actually is important, because you play for economy, especially on Bind. It's so important that you have a bonus round where you don't have to rebuy a weapon. Now, when one player just loses a weapon, that's still fine. Probably your Jet will be having some knives on third round in case you lose the bonus round, and you still have four big rifles like behind her. But if you lose multiple weapons, like 2 in example, then it's a little bit rocky, and you probably will have to play some small shields if you want to get rifles and the full utility, or maybe even not play a rifle with your utility. So a little bit unnecessary. But here Polvi pulls out an up round 3 on the full buy. So they're fully committing.
Oh my, look at the damage done. Zigataris is so low, running away, hopping into elbow to heal himself up. And with that, I mean, G2, they still have the advantage. Obviously, the health isn't going to be fully repaired either. The armor's gone. But I do look at this side of Animal. They have that operator. It's holding down A solo for now. But as Hibber falls, they actually double stick down. They obviously heard the TPs. They've cleared out long now. This is really good. So G2 think they're going to be running into a lighter position, but instead there's 2 players here. Oh, Polvi, I don't like that. Up above he went. Now he's got his ultimate, so a little updraft wouldn't be too bad. Dodges away from the nades, only takes a bit of damage. And here's where the round starts to spiral, because out he goes. Polvi shutting down Pith as Kev found himself a double. That is a really nicely played round. So they heard the TPs, and G2 were basically rotating, presuming that Animal would have been very scared and rotated to the B site, which I thought they would have, but I think it was just a few seconds too early, because Keft was still roughly where he is now, just outside of the A site. He was on his way coming towards the spawn, and then they heard the TP, so he was able to double back and be there on the site to support his teammate, allowing that aggressive position that we saw.
You know, I want to say that 2-0 is not a big problem for G2, but 3-0, we have a match in our hand. Like, this actually shows that there's promise on this defense side for Animal, and G2 needs to actually buckle up and play well.
Oh, Hibber, hello, baby. Look at this, shredding them with the Phantom up close. Mucky does the same, but with a Vandal instead, gets a triple. It's all down to the Reaver skin. I really feel like it's just so much easier to spray the Vandal when it's a Reaver Vandal. Just, I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's like chunkier, so the blowback feels harder, so I spray down more. I don't know.
It's the sound, right? It's the sound that pulls the weight. It's like I really like Prime Vandal because it's let's say it doesn't it does mix well with with the sound in game, so you still hear footsteps very well. It's a little bit pay to win.
Oh,
as shot by Polby.
Exactly what you want, those kind of shots. You dash out right away, and it's the benefit of having a jet versus any other agent, really. Mixwell's able to do the same and evade any kind of capture, use their own smoke against them, in fact. They put it down there to stop anyone else peeking. Mookie in with one. The spray is so close, but Zigatera's not going to be landing the frag just yet. A 5 versus 3. Man advantages going towards Animal. This is a full buy for G2. I said before, for G2, they're the kind of team that they play with super confidence, and sometimes it's too late by the time they realize that it's gone too far. But what I will say is that their attack side is not where they thrive here. Their defensive side on Bind is scary. If I see them up at 5 rounds by the end of the half, I'm still going to be favoring them to close this one out. So for NML, yes, it's a good start. If they get this 5-0, they have a lot more to do.
But hey, we do have a match, a close match, so I'm pretty happy about that. Because the split was very one-sided. And this round seems very much just settled. Even if Animal lose a player, I really like how they play. They play long range. Even if someone dies, there's still the res from Sage. And because of the positioning on the map, they basically always have that res.
Player standing.
But no losses are. There's one. Zeke gets Mucky, but then the trade from Heaven happens from Sova just peeks, knowing perfect position of Zeke on site, and that's about it. But Polvy pulling weight. Hibber was doing first bloods in the previous round, in the previous match. I think he had 7 on the Reyna, while Polvy didn't really do much when it comes to first bloods. But this one here, Polvy has already like 3 or 4. And this one here in this round, when he just gets that one tap from the operator, is really important because it's a full buy round, but also takes out Brimstone, which is a significant portion of the utility that G2 needs to attack on sites.
I'm surprised to see that Brim is peaking so much as well. You can see Patatek,
right?
He's always been rather a very aggressive player, but you want to get those smokes down first, and that's what he does after peaking. Pops the smokes, Mookie's in with one. Showstopper going to be popped, but no reward for it. And with that, man disadvantage. They've invested 2 ultimates already. They've invested full smokes. They've at least got the spike down and 2 kills right after. Hello, G2. Welcome to the server. Rez comes in onto Hibber, and Polvy's covering fire, but Zeke able to take him down. Showstopper returned. Everybody's investing ultimates into this round. Animal want to keep it going. They don't want G2 to build up any momentum of their own. A shock dart, ready and waiting, firing over, landing in preemptively. Another on its way. Here it comes, landing in, doing damage, getting a kill as well. They don't know where Pith is. 1v1, and Pith, he gets it done. G2, they come into that round with pistols and ults, and they walk out with a round victory.
I'm honestly surprised at the retake. It was 3 versus 2. There seemed to be a lot of reluctance in the movement from Animal, that they were a little bit lost. And then, when they actually defuse the spike, they hear the first shock dart. And yet, look at that. See this? Sova just went straight into the first shock dart for a massive 90 damage. When you hear how the shock dart is traveling, so you can avoid that. But I guess the chaos of the battle takes over, and he didn't pay attention to the sound cue.
I always love when Sova plays happen, because I just know you're either going to be really excited or really angry. I also love when Viper plays happen, but it's not gonna happen today. It's okay. I'm fine. No, right? No, nobody's low.
Nixwell is damaged. Look at that. He actually got headshotted through the truck while full sprinting with the Vandal.
Hey, he lost a lot of armor as well. Okay, fair enough. Ibber, interesting. He gets shot in the back there. Artis attempting to make this happen. You can see they've got TP open. Pith is going to be crossing through into hookah, so presumably there's the teleport. They're going to move to site. Cage goes up to ensure no reinforcements. They know Sage is stuck. They know she's inside the tube as well, because that recon isn't revealing her. There's the trade, and oh, Pith almost got killed by that one, but they're going to be spotted. Oh, he's looking the wrong way, and they've been collided. Oh, so when he spotted them and they knew there was an op inside of spawn, I think the plan was for him to hold it and shoot at it. But then the player in elbow was causing a distraction, so he turns his back and lo and behold, GG. But well, what strikes me as odd, he got paranoid. Surely when you get paranoid and you've popped that ult, you still hold the angle because you'll be able to see them.
Well, I can understand why did he turn away and wanted to help his teammate, because they're both paranoid. So if he wants to peek from that tube, he's not gonna see anyone in the entrance of CT anyway, so he's gonna be dead unless someone is really close on this end. So I can definitely understand why he would just wants to peek with his teammate and just maybe get a trade because someone really goes intimate from the elbow.
Prepare for hellfire!
Wow, is it just with double kill from there? Really? That was actually insanely valuable trade. Even though it was an echo, he got out the Brimstone ult and got a double kill. He's feeding his ultimate, by the way. This is 3 hours for the next round. Even if they're gonna lose this one, he's gonna have it ready, basically, for the next round.
And for G2, the time is now really to start answering up, but the 2v4 that they've got in play doesn't look too good. Nade surpasses Artis, but it's catching straight onto Patatek, who's now less than half HP. Holding over towards long, allowing Artis to clear out these close corners. Gonna buy whatever time they can, try to get this spike down. At least avoided this recon dart, but the thing is, NML are conscious that they've given up a lot of control. Patatek crosses over, and he'll go for this plan.
Left.
Oh, no, he's going to elbow. This is dangerous. Muke gets taken down. It's a 2v2. The HP is so low. But the thing is, now they can play angles that aren't quite expected. They can potentially catch them completely off guard. Recon goes over, spots both. No one shot it. Still no one shot it. Still no one shot it. Just tank all 3 shots. Why not? They were hoping someone would peek off the back of it, but nobody did. Patatek eventually comes in, doesn't find the kill. Artis trying to go for the head peek, but he's shut down. They know exactly where Patatek is. Recon comes over. Patatek gets in position first. Oh, 1 bullet away. Polvi on 10 health connects the shot just in time. What a close round. That was a 2v4.
I feel like there's not much communication going on in Animal right now, because Polvi still was peeking with an op when they know that the opponents are so low on HP. Like, there's no Sage in the team. The damage due is permanent. Like, G2 needs to just play with the health that they're given. And if I remember correctly, Artis had 11, while Patatek had 26, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. So, peeking with that op into such a low health enemy seems very risky, because he was 10 HP himself. So he's not gonna be, like, very mobile himself. But hey, next round happens. Mixwell with the opening. Artis with the ultimate. They get double kills. Mixwell's opening the site like a can of tuna. Will he get the third? He hears the reload. Jiggle peeks to check the angle.
Oh, come on! With the pistol, the headshot, and everything, that was close. Damage done. The shock darts through to try and finish off what was started. Now down to just 1 hit. The boombot. Oh, Artis, you sneaky boy! He comes through! But the heal was underway. Hipper takes a few more bullets and gets rezzed right back up. A 3v3. Mookie in danger. If he gets 1 or 2 kills from this position, it could end the round, and he almost gets both! But Zeke has such fast reactions, lightning quick. Pith on the flank. Hello, there's a close range picture. That one's gonna cost him, but Pith comes out, spots 1, takes the kill, runs away. Just going to play nice and passive now. Run down the clock, run down the time. He's going for the halfway stick. Peek comes out. Player's still on it, but now he comes off. Pith has to peek, but a great headshot connected. And we go 7-2. G2, it's a little consolation, but if they can get up to that 5-round mark, they are in a really good spot.
I really like how Piff played, collected. This was a very, let's say, thought out play by him. He knew the grenade will deal a lot of damage, but he has enough time to go back, make that jiggle peek to make the Sage anxious while defusing the spike. So no panic there. Everything was calculated. Love to see it. Even though they're still losing like 7-2, right? So there was some space to panic. Oops. He missed that. You know, he hits the really tough shots to hit. But when it's a Roomba, yeah.
Not happening.
Go get him.
I mean, that ultimate is interesting. Traded back with the showstopper. Hibber gets it done, but here we go. Showstopper for showstopper. It must go on, but not this time. Well, the round does. As G2, they're going to struggle to get into the A site on the retake here for Animal, but they have the man advantage. That's the upside. They've TP'd up behind, so they're causing a couple extra angles to be worried about. Patatek clearing out bathroom as we speak. Artist. Oh, this is so good. The way those smokes have worked out, but he gets spotted. Still good for one. Nose Jets here as well. On low HP with an op. Shock Dart goes through the rush, but Palvi runs out of ammo and goes down. Ziggs with it all in his hands. He got one, but close. He's not expecting Zeke to be standing there with a Vandal in hand, take the headshot, and put 3 on the board. After an insanely dominant start, 7-1 up, G2 are now getting right back into the game, and I think for Animal, panic stations might start to be coming into effect. That's so unfortunate that he ran out of ammo.
Yeah. And there were 2 bullets left for Artist as well, so yeah, it was a fair battle. 3 versus 2. I actually had a classic battle myself lately when I had 2 bullets left in the classic, and I did a right click, hit a body shot, a headshot, and I was like, well, I guess I'm missing that 3rd bullet now.
Oh, the blast pack play, but it's not going to work. Poor old Hibber goes down. Good ultimate to start it off. Pith with another. And considering, you know, at this point we're looking at likely 4 on the board. That 5 rounds that I said at the start, I wanted G2 to get, or rather, I didn't want G2 to get if you're an Animal fan. Is very, very obtainable. Love to deal with these weaker weapons. Oh, nice stuff by Zeke. Zeke has been so clean. I know we said about his consistency and his ability, but his headshots have just been on point. Speaking of which, Patatek in with one of his own, leaves it all down to Mucky. A 1v4 that isn't going to happen, leaving a 7-4 scoreline and 5 open for the taking in this final round. And I'll have to fight for it.
I have to ask myself, is Zeke actually paying attention to the clock when it comes to the smokes, or is that just game sense? Like, you know, like an internal clock that you have in your body that you knows where 20 seconds passed, right? Because with Brimstone, which is very cool, by the way, because the smokes are dropping at the same moment, you can just take a blink, you know, at the take a look, short look at the clock and be like, ah, okay, it's 1:20. At 1 minute, the smokes were gonna dissipate. So this is the time where you're just like gonna be prepared for a peek, or, you know, to shoot yourself because you know it's gonna be gone away.
G2 want to take bathroom control, and this is something they do a lot on the defensive side, but offense-wise, you don't see it a whole bunch. Caught outside the smoke as well. Mucky, oh, he's in danger. He's being tagged. He wants to get around that corner before he's fully pursued. And it looks like he'll make it away. The pre-fire actually cost him his life. Patatek in with another. They're going to spot all these players now, which doesn't fare too well, because you can see Kev was just spotted straight through the smoke. Spammed down. Here's a recon that's going to reveal the player who's already dead, so it doesn't matter. Leaving Zig all by himself. And with
Such a different G2 than we have seen in the first rounds, right?
Yeah.
We didn't see the confidence in the G2
sides.
before, in the first 6 rounds, basically. And now they did catch, let's say, the drift of the wind. Like it's this second coming, basically, of G2. And you can see how they played the map. Here, this is not like a very, you know, complicated strategy, but they push the showers as 2 with the drone, which pushes out the player from the showers into the A side, where the A side is already being controlled because Zeke pushes lamps with his utility, so no one can peek from that. That allows Patitech to go on side because there are smokes on it, and he has the perfect angle to kill the player from showers. And this is like a pincer movement, basically executed by G2. It's not really complicated, but it just works.
It's something that we mentioned though, and that the reason I was being so reserved. Oh, Mixwell, that's a missed dash, a mistake, and an opening kill for Animal. This is exactly what they want. Pick up the pistol. At least the opening duel of it. They still have to deal with Pith on the back of the site, and they do so quite well. Nade comes through and does a bit of team damage, almost kills Mookie, in fact. But they'll get that spike plant. We mentioned how G2, you know, they can be slow to start because they just play super puggy, and then they come right back into it. This is what we're seeing. Zeke, I don't know how none of those shots hit. Or NG, really not on his side. Now he's all alone. 1 kill, with 2 more to go. That was close. That was so damn close. I started to believe for a second.
But it seemed like, you know, this round is on Mixwell. He basically didn't do any damage on Hookah, which was instrumental to stop a little bit of the rush. He also didn't manage to escape, and he blocked himself in the B window. So yeah, a little bit awkward. And pistol rounds are instrumental to, let's say, mental well-being of G2. Like right now, 8-5. Not the best position to be in.
Yeah, I wonder at what point does it actually get frustrating for them? Like, because you know at the start, they play the same as the first map, right? Playing super loose, they're giving away rounds. And then if Animal actually start to come back and start to really perform, you get to this point where you're like, oh, guys, we threw it, you know? It gets really frustrating to play. This is, it's not the best smoke. It's a little bit too high because they can still see through it and shoot back. That's exactly what they're doing. Patitech able to take down 1, but that's going to be just about it. Mixwell, hey, I'm glad it's not just the Alliance guys that like to take the shorty, as he's just flying around there, but it's on Jet, a little bit more viable. Of course, Patitech's just got a 4K. You just see all of his victims. I mean, we're watching them and you're like, oh, he's dead now, surely. Nope. Now he's dead. Nope. Doesn't matter. He just keeps on winning the fights with a Spectre in hand, 7 HP. Mixwell only had a shorty, and it's 8-6. You lose the pistol, you win that.
You have to ask yourself, right? How is that possible? Like, you losing a pistol to then suddenly outperform a full buy round with big shields and Spectres, and they just win with classics in a short? It's kind of insane. It just shows how big of a, let's say, skill level G2 represents on a potential outplay.
Yeah.
And now Animal is in a tough spot. They are still like doing work because it's 8-6. But this round is really a very, very low buy. On attack on bind, that's never good. You can't really aggressively peek because you still need to double tap someone. Sneaky beaky camera.
And this is the thing, you know, most people would just left click and spot him right now, but he's just pressing Z or whatever bind he's got it on to show his teammates where that player is. They don't know they've been spotted and that control is given up by choice. Mixwell playing up behind the smoke, going for the spams. Not gonna land just yet. The thing is, with that camera still online, they can tag and try to go for some plays through the smoke or get late round information on whether or not this is still a hookah control, right? Or how many players are in there. Really, really valuable to leave it online. The rush out on site, that's so smart, combining it. Mixwell, great shot, looks for more, but Artis is already dealing the damage, leaving just 1 player who is very quickly dealt with. That was so fast.
So this is something you don't really see often with G2. A very well-disciplined retake. All of them waited out for everyone to be ready. Then Zeke and Mixwell rushed at the same time with the blast pack and with the dash. The Brimstone ultimate took care of so many angles on site, so they don't have to worry about dashing on site, and they just have to focus on the hookah and the pocket and garden. Very well played.
I love how Mixwell took out the shorty as well, ready for the player to jump out, but he had 2 teammates behind him who just quickly dealt with him as soon as he stepped forward. 8-7. and a scoreline that's starting to get a little bit upsetting. That bot actually going to completely spot out Paulby now. He's in danger. He's trying to updraft. Oh, that's as soon as you updraft there, you are dead if you get hit. Because he knows you're in the air. Yeah, he knows you got to come down. It's nice and easy. With that, 4-3. G2, man advantage, holding down the A site with 4 players, but already, or 3 players, excuse me, already rotating over, but Mixwell doesn't need any help. And he's slowly walking towards long as well. Weapon out. Little bit too late, but it's okay. His teammates are rotated in position. Nate goes out. Zeke buying himself time to get around through elbow, and he has a showstopper if it's needed. I think all in all, this should be a relatively clean one for G2 on the retake.
You know, it's still possible. They all go one by one from different directions. Let's see if Pathetic waits for Piff because he's far away. Zeke goes in, dies, still gets the 1v1, and that's it.
Yeah, the whole thing there, as soon as you see the showstopper, a 3 versus 2 at this close of a game, you're not going to risk it. It's worth committing the ultimate to it. You know your enemies have weapons in their hands. And that's why, you know, as soon as he goes out, if he doesn't find anybody with the showstopper, then okay, yeah, you can lose the round, but the chances of that are just so unlikely.
Didn't pay attention to the map. I was still wondering if Pathetic did wait for Piff. I'm actually not sure he did. Yeah, I think he just went in with the showstopper. What is this round? No one... Look at the map control. G2 is getting so much right now. Pathetic gets the entire fountain. Entire B is already taken. Oh, unfortunately, they lose Zeke, but then a double kill.
See the... Oh, no! Artis, he gets shut down at least in the end, but quickly picked off one on the side. The wall is at least up, but Keft just gets dropped straight away. Hibber in a 1v3. Spike down, spotted by the cam. Pretty much everything's going against him right now. Removes the dart, but he's still got so much to do. That nade, oh, that nade could be huge. There's a Cypher over there with low HP, but he makes it out. Look at the map, actually, or up the top of the player bar. He's 1 HP, literally 1 HP, and he finishes the round with a 3K. That's so unfortunate for Hibber. If he finds that kill, he probably doesn't feel the need to jump up there quickly. But at the same time, because they knew where he was from the nade, if he goes through lamps, they're just going to be holding it, you know? It's easy peasy.
Well, I was mentioning the map control, right? And G2 got the entire B hold. Basically, they pushed through to the spawn of T almost. And fortunately for Animal, they had the call that they win to play aggressively now. Because if they would still wait a little bit, they would have been caught by the flankers. They would have been caught by the defenders as well, because they would rotate a little bit differently, or even let them go inside and just make a full pincer movement from both sides. So it was a good call from Animal to be such an aggressive, to have such an aggressive stance. Oh, that smoke actually outplayed the bot. So Hibber didn't check the angle at all because he was certain there's no one there.
So perfect by Mixwell. It's 8 to 9. Small things that matter. I said that if they got 5 rounds, I worried for Animal. If G2 got 5 rounds in the first half, they got 5. And this is why I was worried. We're about to reach double digits potentially. This has got to be a big hold by Animal, but they've got ultimates to do it. Hunter's Fury still in play. This is the important part of the game. They can't fade off now, and that's so unfortunate. Zig only getting the 1. They move towards the site. Rez coming through from Zig. Triple killed by Pith off screen, and Patatek closes with a double. I mean, that's ridiculous.
That was such a clean round from Piff. I would love to see that from his POV, because he actually got triple kill while the wall was going up, but right before it closed. So, and they controlled also burst firing from the Vandal. You could have heard that tap, 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 tap. Very controlled. Always probably done with the ADS for maximum accuracy, and he gets 3 headshots on Animal. That has to be frustrating because they get the opening kills. Zeke doesn't do what he does best, so being consistent was not the name of the game in this round. And then Piff just runs away with a run like that.
Oh man, look, see, even when you try to counter G2's aggression on the defensive side, Mixwell does that. Comes out with a double, continues to push forward, and goes into a share. That's where the kind of the random aspects go. It's the wrong decision, but they'll do it because they're G2, and that's just how this works. Hunter's Fury taking down Artis. Things are looking actually pretty good. For Animal, these are the rounds that we always warn about when you watch G2. There's someone in the TP, they know about it. Paranoia through so they can just rush and rotate, get that spike planted on B, and then play the 2v2 out afterwards. There's still smokes for Patatek though. That's something that can definitely make a pretty hefty impact. This is going to be a slow one because look at this. Animal, they've not planted for spawn, so somebody has to stay close here at elbow.
Did he use the Wiccan?
No.
Didn't see land.
No, he didn't, because they would know he was there if it even flew up in the air. I think he's lining it up. Yeah, there. He's going to pop it now once they tap the spike so that it goes out and they can shoot through the smoke. So it's up above. They've destroyed it without any bursts, and Patatek took down Mookie. They presume that Kev is here. He's spraying. He's not getting him. Time is almost up, and the defuse inside or behind the smoke as 11 rounds now go on the board for G2. What a disaster. It's like they had the A plan. We're going to put out the recon, spam them through smoke, get a 2v1, easy win. But once that failed, once they destroyed it instantly, they were just like, wait, what? And also, how do you not get, like, that spam seemed very far away from where the spike was for a game where
I
you
just
can
wanted to point that out. I feel like that was huge miscommunication in Animal right now. I feel that Sova did spray the default plant in the left corner while it was planted in the middle. So that's actually a big blunder. That means that no one pinged the bomb.
Yeah, if that's the case. Or maybe he misread the ping as being like...
No, I saw the ping being on default.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
I didn't
like
even look. I forgot.
Small red triangle on the default. So that was really big miscommunication.
Yeah, if you ping the wrong plant spot, come on. Like, that's... Especially because you can see the spike on the map. Like... I don't know. That's not one of the rounds you want to be losing anyways. Then again, I don't think I've ever met a player who said they wanted to lose a round, but you know what I mean. Oh yeah, ecos. Oh yeah, we love losing those. Absolutely. G2, defensive side, and you'll notice something. They went aggressive down in toilets at the start of the round. As I mentioned in the previous half, this is something they do a lot. But that's it. And in fact, it's super passive. They've got their op over towards the A side, one player in elbow on B, and that's it. 3 players A.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
Interesting. And also interesting play by Animal. 4 people going from hookah.
They've got on the side and they've got a plant. This is pretty nice if they plant the spike. They're delaying quite a lot. G2 are already back in position, but looks like they won't be punished for it all too harshly. Spike goes down. Everybody's being spotted by the recon. Zeke with a wall bang, and this is getting dangerous. Mixwell goes out. The trade is there from Zeke, and now 1v2. Zig has got it all to do. Doesn't know there's a player coming up behind him. And Elbow tries to force the fight, but it's just not to be. And so the spike diffused. 12 to 8.
Didn't you see a showstopper being used?
He'd already popped it just right at the end, I think.
I mean, he killed with a Vandal, and then he popped the ult, right? Or did he that?
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Zeke killed the final player, and I guess misclicked. Maybe.
I guess fat fake.
It must have been. Yeah, it must have been.
Bit. Yeah. Or maybe just disrespectful move against animals. Showing that, oh, we don't need that, you know.
Nah, sure. 12-8. I don't know that you do. Well, it's G2. I mean,
it was a joke, Mitch.
It is G2 though, Lothar. There is at least a small chance.
But hey, I really did like what Ziggy tried to do. But he knew he had to separate the fight as soon as possible. He had to peek. There was no way of waiting, because if he waits, then there's a double like peek from 2 different angles. No way of him winning that engagement. So he had to isolate the fight, get that kill, and get another 1v1 basically a few seconds later. So it didn't go his way, but it was a valiant effort. And Mixwell just does that in the meantime.
Of course, it's Mixwell. Just swinging out, taking kills, taking frags.
Out of charges.
What you like to see. But with a 4 versus 4 as it is, look at Animal. They've positioned 1 player outside of B who's going to start pushing into hookah now. G2 are just now coming back to the site and starting to look around. I thought maybe he was going to go through for that peek and catch them slightly off guard, but it looks like he's just going to hold the control, make sure nobody's pushing behind them, because obviously they've lost... Excuse me, they don't have the ability to use like a Cypher to lock it down as you would normally have. So instead, you got to commit the Lurker to it. Here's the ult in play. Still looking for a victim. He's just a second too late. If that was or too early. If that popped a second later, he'd be oh, that's a double. Very close to it. Good damage done to another player.
Good damage. Yeah. Worth it for sure.
This is just falling apart. Hold on. Mixwell dealt with to put this into a 2v3, 1v3. It's all up to Artis. He wants to come in towards Lambs. He's stampeding his way. Artis with a double. It's all down to just one. And the running spray, the run and gun. It's not happening this time. Op saved by Kev and the game saved. 3 more rounds. They need 3 more rounds in a row to put G2 on to overtime. Much better performance for sure, but gee, oh man. 1 bullet away. Look at that.
Yep. I was so close, but he dealt so much damage this round, right? 240 damage from the ultimate, then 2 kills. Kinda nuts. But I really like how he played. Not sure if you actually paid attention to it, but when he was checking showers from CT, he was bopping his head on the doorway, so he doesn't like commit fully to the jump.
Okay.
So he kind of like does mini jumps,
Yeah.
and then the doorway just blocks him. So he just jiggle peeks basically by putting himself to a cover.
See what you need to see, but don't give them the chance to shoot at you while you're doing it.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Cool thing. Cool thing.
It's the little details that make the big difference, and like checking the left side instead of the right. Let's see if Pith walks around this corner. He could be dead, but if he waits, Mookie might walk straight into Mixwell's operator that's currently holding the angle that he wants to peek. There's Pith distracting, and the shot by Mixwell. Double opening as well because both those kills go their way. This now puts them right back into the advantageous spot, and they've seen the spike fall. So they know it's outside of the A side, at least for now. They're ready for Hipper. They take him down, and it's a 4 versus 2. This is looking like it might be the end of Animal after a damn good attempt in this map. The first one was a massacre, but they have looked a lot better on Bind. I want to say because of G2 having a very slow start, like 7-1. From there, G2 have turned up. But, oh god, Zeke, what a way to close it as well. The blast pack boop pops himself out in the open, takes the kill. Gorgeous stuff. Yeah, you see,
Points, man.
the thing is, that just feels like it's the game that we expected. You know, we go 7-1 up, and you can see G2, they're playing loose, they're playing aggressive, and very confident. And then they start going, all right, let's just play the game properly. And from that point,